Hey there, it's Leo from Firecrawl, and in this video, we'll take a look at how you can add Firecrawl inside of Cursor, as well as take a look at the new Composer 2 model to see what we can create with it. By the way, we're also introducing Interact, a new feature from Firecrawl that allows you to interact with web pages, which is actually the evolution of our previous browser feature. So let's get started. On February 17th, Cursor launched Plugin, and this feature allows us to integrate much easier with third-party apps, such as Firecrawl. To access them, let's go up here where it says Cursor Settings. Now on the left nav bar, you can click on plugins. Mine is already installed, but if you were to install it, you could just click on Browse Marketplace. This will load all of the available plugins. And here you can type in Firecrawl, just click to install and you're all set. If you click on Try in Chat, you'll basically prompt show me how the Firecrawl plugin works. And through here, you can access everything that's actually inside of the skill, since we launch a lot of different features. For example, the latest way to interact is still using the browser here, but still the main features, so search and scrape, are available for us. Let's create a new chat. And here we're actually going to build something with Interact. It'll be a simple application that uses Vercel's AI SDK interface inside of Next.js as a way for us to talk to an AI assistant and have it fetch and browse the internet for us. Obviously empowered by Firecrawl. Okay, so my prompt is pretty simple. Scrape this documentation to understand how the Interact feature works, and then I send out the link for the Interact feature. Then create an AI chatbot using the AI SDK from Vercel. Also scrape the documentation on this to be fully updated. This is really ideal for you to use just to ensure that on the very first run the AI agent makes, it's using updated context and not just doing whatever it was trained on, because that might be outdated features. Then I continue with that should have access to Firecrawl's Interact feature and do whatever the user prompts. This should be sufficient. I'll add that this should be a Next.js app and inside of this folder. And we're also going to be using the Composer 2 fast to see if it actually is that fast. So let me hit enter and let's see how it uses Firecrawl to fetch for context. It already created the folder here with, whoa, that's actually fast. So the file system is already being handled. All this was already scraped. And this is pretty cool, both on the Cursor side and Firecrawl for fetching it so fast. Now it created the folder Interact Chat. This should be the actual Next.js app. From the file system, you can see it already has all the context necessary. So Firecrawl Interact, Vercel's AI SDK docs. Okay, it's done. It's not such a simple app because it's using Vercel's AI SDK. It's generating an agent, but it is still simple. And although it's simple, I haven't had this experience of having an agent finish it as fast as this. And I know the video was cut, but honestly, if you try it out, you might get the same results. It's just a detail that Composer 2 Fast is, I believe, 3 times more expensive than the normal Composer 2. So attention with that. Okay, now that everything was built, let me get inside of that folder. Let me execute npm run dev. Oh, and I forgot to add the environment variable. So let's copy that from the example.env, create our own .env file. Let me paste that in. Let's first get the Firecrawl API key. For that, go over to API keys in the dashboard. Let me create a new one. This will be a Next.js project, create key. Let me copy that key over to my .env. And now we have to add an AI gateway API key. Instead of going through that route, let me prompt it to use OpenRouter instead. So my prompt is just please use OpenRouter instead as the provider. It's already fetching for context on that. Now installing OpenRouter AI SDK package. Okay, got the full context and just immediately altered all of the files. So now it's reading the .env. It might change this variable over to OpenRouter. Okay, just did. Let me hit keep and it should be done now. Oh, it's verifying linting errors and it's done. Okay, let me keep this as well. Let's go over to OpenRouter. And now inside of the API keys page, let's create Next.js app. Let me hit create. Let's copy that over to the .env and restart our dev environment. Now inside of localhost 3000, we have a really nice chat interface. Let me expand this to make sure everyone can see. And now let me just send it, hey, okay, hello, how can I assist you today? Which tools do you have available? I have access to the following tools. Then it describes having open page for interaction, interact with page. Okay, so it seems like it has everything needed for a interact session. Let's do our classical example, have it go to airank.dev and click the see more button, and then go to the pagination and click the second page to retrieve all 20 results. This is a nice example to see how our agent is interacting with the page. Let me add, go to airank.dev and scrape the top 20 first results from the main table. Okay, this is pretty interesting. It ran the tool, but since it gave it such a low timeout, it exceeded every single time. So let me specify over in cursor that it should increase the timeout. So I just added, since it interacts with the page, the timeout for interactions should be much higher. All right, it's taking around 20 to 25 seconds to do this. Additionally, let me instruct it to create a better system prompt so that the agent understands what it has access to. So now my prompt is create a better system prompt guiding the agent on how interact feature works exactly based on the documentation. And since we have file system from Firecrawl, it just read the markdown. It didn't use another fetch. It didn't use Firecrawl's API and waste your tokens to fetch for this. It already has this in context. So all it did was read through it and fetch for that context. Now it's already done. The system prompt has been improved. Now let me send off the same exact prompt, which, by the way, you can follow along with this session that is created by our agent back in the playground. So here might be an old session. Let me delete that. Let's click on the right side for interactive live view URL, and I can actually interact with the page. So this is me scrolling. It's not the agent. And apparently it already went through the pagination. We already have a response. So yeah, here it is. Okay, I guess that's it. This was one of the fastest recording sessions I've done building something. And I'm biased to say that while fetching for data, Firecrawl is optimal. But Cursor, also with the new Composer 2 model, was exceptional. As you can see from this chart, this is their benchmark, by the way, so also biased. But the results speak for themselves, and I honestly believe it reasoned pretty well on the tasks it were given. But more than looking at performance, I really enjoyed the speed of it. And these type of improvements right here from Cursor is what ensures agents are actually a lot faster. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you've used our interact feature, please let us know, as well as give me your opinions on the new Composer 2 model from Cursor. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Till then.